What's up guys, it's Ashling. Welcome back to my channel. I'm in my old background because I am home for a few days. I am so excited to be home visiting my family. So I decided while I was home, I would film for you guys. I brought a ton of Penny's makeup with me, or Primark if you're anywhere else other than Ireland. And I decided that I was going to do a makeup look using it today, coming into spring. And I just feel like I want something a little bit more dewy and light on my skin. So that's what I'm going to try and do today. So I went into Primark and I picked up a couple of new products, like their new highlighters, which I believe that some of these highlighting shades are actually similar to ones that they used to have, but they've just repackaged them. I got some liquid highlighter and some cream products. So if you guys are interested in seeing what way I do my makeup today, then stay tuned and just keep watching. Also, excuse my roots. They look a hot mess. I'm getting my hair done in like 2 days time, which I'm very excited about, but it looks like a hot mess right now. So I'm going to start off by applying some primer water because I want to be refreshed. That is probably way too much, but oh my god, it feels really refreshing. So I'm going to use the matte primer. This is oil free. Like I said, I know I want like a hydrating kind of more luminous look to my skin, but I can't help that I'm oily and I still need to kind of prime areas where my oils come through. So I'm going to focus that primer mostly across my T-zone, in between my brows and on my chin, just because they're the areas that I suffer with the most with oiliness. And the foundation that I have is the Glow foundation. This is a medium buildable coverage and it has SPF 30 in it, and it is my perfect color from that range, and this is in the shade Toffee. You guys know that my favorite foundation is the Longwear foundation because this is more suitable for oily skin like my own, but I wanted to try something that was a little bit more hydrating for this look, and this comes with a dropper. I have these beauty blender type things that I got from Penny's. Now I don't know if these are still available because I didn't see them in my local Penny's. They look really cool. They're like marble, but they don't feel, you know, that thick density that you get from some sponges that you just know that they're not going to blend out your foundation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to moisten these bad boys up and see what they're like at applying product. These sponges feel really nice. They feel quite spongy and they feel like they're going to apply foundation well, so fingers crossed. I'm gonna go with this Glow foundation first, and I'm going to just drop it onto my face. I'm probably applying way too much. I've just gotten it onto my arm as well. Fabulous. So I'm gonna take this kind of sponge and I'm going to bounce that product onto my face. That foundation is like an almost perfect match to my body. It's identical to the Longwear foundation in colour. I've just decided that I'm going to apply a bit of this foundation to the back of my hand because I just prefer applying foundation like that. It just works way better for me. And then just use a paddle brush just to apply it to the areas, and then we will blend it out. Okay, that applied way better just doing it that way because I actually feel like I got a bit more coverage with it. It's definitely a lot more lightweight than the Longwear foundation. And I actually like that because, like I said, I want to go for like a glowy, kind of more natural look. So I'm going to keep blending and blending and blending until I'm happy with this on my skin. That foundation is €6, by the way. If I didn't mention, the primer was $4 and the priming water was $3. The next thing I'm going to move on to, I think, is contour. This is not a contour stick, it's a foundation stick, and it's the My Perfect Color foundation. Oh, it is called foundation and contouring stick. My bad. But this is in the shade Rich Espresso. This was the deepest, darkest shade for me. That was like more along the cool tone. This product was €3, and if it's any good at doing contouring, I may pick up another one like for like foundation. We'll do what I would normally do with my contour and around my temple. I really don't want to apply too much. I tend to go ham when it comes to contour. I'm going to blend this out and just do circular motions just to blend this into the skin. Actually, that blends quite easily into my skin. So I'm going to remove that line as well. So I'm just going to keep blending until the line is removed. Okay, I would say that this product kind of dries pretty rapidly. So what I would recommend to do is work in small parts, like not do what I did and like kind of draw on your face, apply it and then blend it out, and then apply it and then blend it out, because I think that works a bit better. Also guys, if you're wondering what I blended out the contour with, it's the Sigma Duo Fiber Powder Blush Brush. It's F15. I'm going to conceal now, and I'm going to take my favourite concealer, the My Perfect concealer, My Perfect Colour liquid concealer. I got the shade Nude Beige, which I feel like this is a little bit too light. I actually, believe it or not, don't have any of this concealer left. I used up my last one, like used it all up, so that'll tell you how much I love it. I couldn't actually remember my shade in my last concealer. This is definitely way too light, although maybe it's okay. That's probably way too light. I'm going to take this sponge now to blend out my concealer. No shade guys, but have they changed the formula of this concealer, because it is not working as well as I remember, or as it used to. It's not really covering my dark circles. In fact, it's emphasizing them. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like I'm getting as much coverage from that as I remember. I'm going to move on to blush, and I'm going to apply this cream blush in the shade Hush Blush, and this looks so pretty. I feel like it's going to fall out though. I don't know why it's like moving around in the packaging, but isn't that such a pretty shade? So pretty. It's like a purpley pink, and it's like nothing I have in my collection at all. Like I definitely don't have anything like that. It's really cool toned. So I'm going to attempt to apply this to my cheeks. I always get a bit wary about cream products. I'm so scared of them. Apply this to the apples of my cheeks and just kind of like bring it up a bit. Oh my god, it's so pretty. I'm loving that cream blush. And you know what? I'm not like a cream blush person. I'm not really a cream product person, TBH, but I do feel like that's quite nice. I like it. I like it a lot. So next up, I have this liquid highlighter. This is called Glow Drops. These are double dimension highlighting drops. These are quite expensive actually. This is in the shade Ice, by the way. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to shade pennies or anything like that, but I do feel like €5 is a little bit of an extreme price for highlighting drops, unless these are awesome. Okay, so how should I do this? Maybe I'll put this on the back of my hand first and then apply it to my cheeks, because that would work out best. That's what it looks like. That is quite bright, like stark almost. I'm just gonna take my ring finger, I think, and apply that to the high points of my cheeks. Me and cream products are just like, we're not best friends. I feel like you could have like the most perfect base with a cream product, and then you could just ruin it all with one like vigorous swipe or one vigorous application of product. Well, that's just how I feel. This is super nice. I'm just going to take my brush, just this little like fluffy brush, there's no product on it. I'm just going to blend out what I'm applying to make sure that I get like something that looks semi-natural. So I'm just going to apply a bit up here as well and just blend it in. Okay, I think that's as glowy as I'm going to go. I bought this pack of sponges, and it has triangle sponges in it and these circular ones, which is what I'm looking for. I'm going to use this one to set my face, and then the triangle one to do a little bit of baking. I'm just going to use this to set my base. I'm just going to press it on like that. I don't want to set too much, obviously, because I want this to be like glowy makeup, but obviously I have to set a little bit. I'm going to bring a bit of glow back into my skin, because I feel like the highlighter is still there, but like maybe not as intense. So I'm taking this shade Spotlight, and this is, like I said, I believe some of their old highlighters repackaged or reformulated. I hope that this is still the same as the other ones, because they were amazing, those highlighters. Same brush I used to spread out my liquid highlighter, I'm just going to use to apply this. Oh my god, that's so intense. Quite pretty, very pretty in fact. Very intense. I often find with these pennies highlighters you nearly need to like rub off the top layer, because I find that there's loads of glitter in it, so that's what I was kind of like doing, like working off the top layer. But that highlighter is insane. It's really pretty. Going back in with my loose powder, I'm just going to apply a little bit of powder just down the center of my nose. Just along here. And a bit too underneath the eyes. So I'm just going to leave that bake for like 2 minutes and then I'll come back to you guys. So I've let my face bake for like 2 minutes. I'm just going to rub off that baking powder. And now I'm going to move on to the eyes. And I have this Nude Basics palette, and if I can locate it, this shimmering liquid metal eyeshadow, which I think this is part of like their Christmas collection. I hauled this way back when and I was super impressed with it. So that's what it looks like there. It's a liquid metal eyeshadow and this is in the shade Iced Mocha. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work with my Nude Basics palette. This is what it looks like on the inside. Trying to find a palette in pennies that isn't broken or like hasn't been tested or unopened is pretty rare. I just don't know why people do that in pennies. Why do you have to stick your fingers in products that you're not going to buy? And I'm actually really excited to try this. There is very little warmth to this palette, so it's definitely going to be a bit more on the cooler side. But the shadows actually swatch quite nicely. I'm excited for you, I really am. I'm just going to apply a teensy bit of concealer to my eyelids just to prime them. Yeah, they definitely have changed the consistency of this concealer, guys. I'm not kidding. Like, I actually feel like it's a lot less full coverage than it used to be, and I'm very sad about it. All these shades actually have names, believe it or not, on the back. So the first one I'm gonna take is this one down here, which is called Laid Bare, on a big brush and just apply it all over my lid just to set my base. I'm gonna take this shade here, which is called Whisper. It's not like too deep, but it's just a little bit darker than the other shade, and I'm just gonna apply that through my crease. Oh my god, that is really pigmented. I'm not gonna be doing anything crazy, guys, so don't get too excited. I just want to test out this palette. I'm actually shook because I was full on almost expecting to hate this. I went through like all the palettes in pennies and I was like, oh, I'll never use this, I'll never use that, it's just not my cup of tea. And then I picked this one up and I was like, okay, well look, even if it's junk, I'll just use it and try it out. But I am actually, like, I could see myself dipping into this on the daily. I feel like this is a really good eyeshadow palette. I'm also going to bring that shadow just underneath my lower lash line too. And just bring it out in the corner, almost like you're winging it out a little bit. But I'm just going to deepen up the outer V a little bit. And I'm going to take the shade right beside Whisper, which is called Nevada. And I'm just going to apply that more on the outer corner of my eye. Just to, like I said, add a bit of dimension. This palette and these eyeshadows are blending out really, really great. I'm actually shocked. I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is a highlighting shade called Awaken. And I'm just going to pop that underneath my brow and into my inner tear duct just to brighten up the area. So that's all we're going to do so far. I'm going to finish this eye and then we'll come back and do the liquid eyeshadow. Okay. I'm going to take the shade Ice Mocha and I'm going to put that onto my eyes just to see what this is like. I'm really excited to see what this is like. Oh my god, it's so pretty. These are obviously supposed to be like a dupe for the Magnificent Metals from Stila. I can say right off the bat that they're not exactly a dupe because the Stila ones are just out of this world with pigmentation. But these give like a really nice kind of look to the eye and they're like a nice shimmer. It's not too like in your face and it's subtle, but I think it kind of looks nice and finishes off the look. So I'm just going to wait for that to dry and I'm going to apply some mascara and then we'll do the lips. Okay guys, so I'm going to take my favorite nude lip liner from Penneys. I absolutely love this. It's just called Nude, or it actually has a name, but it's the nude one. So I picked up this Velvet Lip Whip and these are their semi-matte finishes. This was €3. I could have used the liquid lipsticks that I have, the collection that look like the Huda Beauty ones. They're amazing as well, but this one looks really, really nice. I also love their matte lipsticks, these ones here, and they've started to kind of like bring them back out again. So if you guys do see these, definitely pick them up. This shade is just in the shade Nude. Oh, it's quite light. Oops, I'll just put that in the center. This feels really nice. I'll pat that out with my finger. I was going to apply gloss, but I actually feel like this is kind of glossy. It's not like matte. It's definitely not a liquid lipstick, so I'm super happy with that. I am done and dusted with my Penneys Fresh Glowing makeup, and I actually am so happy with this makeup. I feel like it is really, really nice. I'd love to have like a setting spray, but I don't think Penneys actually has one, but I feel like I just would like to set this all in stone. So I want to go through some of the products and kind of talk through them and see what we're thinking. I love the primer water. I was actually obsessed with this. I really feel like it really hydrated my skin. It felt lovely on my skin. It just felt like a nice step. I suppose probably unnecessary, but I felt like it was a nice step. This primer, I've used it for ages and you guys know I love it. So I want to talk a little bit about the new products that I tried. So this Glow foundation, oh my god, beautiful. This has an SPF 30 in it, guys, so just like be wary of that if you are using it in flash photography. But I feel like this foundation is like a really fresh kind of feel to it. It just feels really lightweight on my skin. Actually, it doesn't feel heavy at all, and I'm interested to see how it like wears throughout the day. I might like recap on this in like my monthly favorites. I'm actually a big fan of this foundation and contour stick. Like I said, I know it's a foundation shade for obviously a deep skin tone, but it just worked perfectly for like contouring, cream contouring my skin, and it just looks really nice, I feel, personally. Cream blushes, I'm always afraid of them, always, but this cream blush looks amazing on my skin. I absolutely adore the shade. I just decluttered loads of my blushes, and I'm glad that I actually bought this one because it's like just something really different for me and something I don't actually own. And the highlighting glow drops, I thought that they were lovely, really nice on the skin. This might be something interesting, maybe perhaps to mix in with like foundation or something if you want like more of a glowy effect to your skin. I don't feel like there was like chunks of glitter or anything like that in it. You can see it there in the back of my hand though. It is quite glowy, so maybe it might be a bit of a strange thing to add in with foundation. But definitely in the summer months, maybe if you want to put some on your collarbones or something like that, it might be nice. I thought it was a little bit pricey though, not gonna lie. I love this powder highlight. This is, like I said, in the shade Spotlight. This is just super pretty. Like this is like something you would get from a high-end brand. It's just gorgeous. And the other thing I would definitely recommend picking up is this eyeshadow palette. Like if you are just wanting to start out with makeup, or even if you have like as much makeup as I have and you just want to get something like kind of neutral and or a little bit cool as well, but something different. Like I don't have a palette anything like this, and it kind of reminds me of some of them Smashbox, was it the Smashbox Exposed eyeshadow palette that kind of looked like this. For a €6 palette, the quality of the eyeshadows, I mean, they just glided on my eyes and they were just beautiful, rich kind of chocolate eyeshadows. I really liked this. After applying this, I'm probably the least blown away with this out of all the products today, and I was kind of the most excited over this. It is beautiful, like the liquid eyeshadows and stuff, and it looks nice on my eyes, but to be honest, it's not like anything exceptional. They're €3, I believe, so they're not like gonna break the bank, but it's not something that I would like have to reach for over and over. They're not anywhere near. I think I'm just spoiled with the Steel and Magnificent Metals. These are not anywhere near the quality of them, so if you are picking them up thinking that, I wouldn't bother. But if you just want a liquid eyeshadow and it's quite pigmented, then I would go with that. If you can get these beauty sponges still, I would highly rate them. They're amazing, and I'm very glad that I actually have these because I think that they made my foundation glide on my skin, and they were great at blending out my under eye concealer. I liked them a lot. I'm a bit raging over this concealer though. I definitely think the formula has changed. It doesn't look as full coverage under my eyes at all. Like I can still see my dark circles even now, and you probably can see them on camera, so I'm a bit devo.com from that. And I think one of my favorite products as well was this too, this lip product. Oh my god, it looks gorgeous. This is really lightweight on my lips, but it's full of pigmentation, and they had tons of shades. I was gonna go with something a little bit deeper, but then I wanted like a natural glowy makeup look, and then we ended up with this. But I would highly recommend picking up like some more shades, and I'm going to do that myself. So like I said, these are velvet lip creams, so they're semi-matte finish, and they are actually, I just see that the Leaping Bunny is now on the back of a lot of Penneys makeup, so they've obviously gotten their cruelty-free status, which is very exciting. So this product, highly rate, recommend picking it up if you haven't tried it. I think that's pretty much everything I want to discuss lip liner. We know how I feel about that. Anyway, guys, I think I've rambled on for long enough. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did enjoy today's video and you want to see more testing makeup brands, then please give this video a thumbs up, and I will talk to all you guys in my next video. Mwah. Bye. I love you.